Okay, this is to answer Amina's question. Now, before I answer Amina's question, let's look at what we already know. We know that water exists in three states: ice, which is solid, alright, and then water, which is liquid. So ice is solid, alright, water is liquid, alright. Let me just put it. Oh man, okay. One more time. Let's write that down. Okay, so you know that ice is solid, water is liquid, water vapor is gas. Okay, so we already know this. There's three states of water. So remember, ice is solid, water is liquid, and water vapor is gas. We know that ice becomes water at 0 degrees Celsius, and we call this the the melting point. Okay, we call this the melting point. Alright. We also know that ice becomes water at 0 degrees, and we call this melting point. We also know that water becomes ice at 0 degrees, and that's why the melting point is also known as the freezing point, right? Because water freezes into ice. So melting point 0 degrees, freezing point is also 0 degrees. Alright, at the same time, we also know that water at 100 degrees will automatically becomes water vapor. I repeat, water at 100 degrees will definitely turn into water vapor. We know that water can evaporate at any of the temperatures here, but at 100 degrees it boils, and that means that whatever water is at 100 degrees will immediately becomes water vapor. So we call this the boiling point. Okay, I hope you remember that. Alright, so there's the boiling point, there's the melting and freezing point. Okay, now so if let's say I take water at say 50 degrees, water at 50 degrees, what state will it be? It would be liquid, alright, because it's in between the melting freezing point and the boiling point. Okay, so whatever temperature that is in between the melting point and freezing point and the boiling point, whatever temperature that is within this range will be liquid. Okay, I bet you understand that, right? Okay, at the same time, whatever water that's above the boiling point will definitely be a gas. Again, this can go on and on and on. And whatever that is below 0 degrees will definitely be a solid, because that's the melting and freezing point. Okay, so if you understand this, okay, now you can apply this to any other substance. Okay, now other substance too would have a solid, liquid, and gas state. Okay, and it might not be called ice, it is not called water, it is not called water vapor, because right now it's just another substance. It can be anything. Now different substances would have different boiling point, so it does not have to be 100 degrees, and different substances would have different melting freezing points, so it does not have to be at 0 degrees. Alright, so for example, any substance can also exist in three states: solid, liquid, and gas. And any substance that is in between its melting freezing point and the boiling point would be liquid. Any substance that is below the melting freezing point would be a solid, and any substance that is above the boiling point would be a gas. Okay? Now, I hope you understand this. If you don't understand this, pause the video, rewind, or bring the video back to where it starts, and replay it again and again until you understand. Once you understand that, let's try to attempt Amina's question. Now, Amina's question has a table that's like that. Okay, all right. Let me see. I just move this one first. Okay, let me just move this. Okay, above here so that I have space to explain to you. All right, and then I'm gonna move this somewhere here. Okay, now let's look at the question. The question asks, okay, the boiling point of metal Z. Alright, so it's trying to find the boiling point of metal Z. Now we know that at 100 degrees it is a solid. So 100 degrees must be somewhere here. This must be somewhere here, 100 degrees. Okay, 150 must be somewhere here. Okay, so if this is 100 and 150, how do I know this? Because they are still solid. 100 degrees, alright, I'm going to make this smaller. Alright, so if this is 100 degrees, alright, that means it must be below its melting freezing point. And if this is 150 degrees and it is still a solid, it must still be below 150 degrees. At 200, it is still a liquid. Okay, so at 200, it must be somewhere here. Alright, 200, it must be a liquid. Alright, somewhere here, 200 is somewhere here. That means 100 and 150 must be below here, 200 must be somewhere in between. 250 therefore must be somewhere here, because it is a gas. And maybe 300 will also be somewhere here, which means it is still a gas. That means this 100 cannot be here, because if I were to draw this to scale, this 100 would be very far away. So you know that 100 is so far away back there. 150 here, this is 200, okay, and it is still a liquid, and this is 300 and 250. Alright, it is already a gas, and this would be 300 would be somewhere here. Okay, according to the table that Amina's question shows. Okay, so one more time, 100 and 150 must be somewhere below this point. Why? Because it is a solid. So that means the freezing point is somewhere in between 150 and 200. We know that boiling point is above before 250, because by 250 degrees Celsius it is already a gas. Alright, so we have it like that. Anything above this point is a gas, so that means the boiling point must be below 250. Now, because of that, if you look at this diagram and you look at Amina's question, the boiling point of matter, the boiling point of matter, of this matter, okay, the boiling point of this substance, the boiling point of this substance must be between, the boiling point must be between, okay, so the boiling point must be between 200 and 250 degrees Celsius. Okay, so Amina, I hope you understand. It's a very good question. Okay, whenever you come with whenever you are faced with a question about solid, liquid, gas, and melting point, freezing point, and boiling point, questions like this, which is rather common, draw the line. Okay, note where the melting, freezing point, boiling point is. Note that anything that's below melting point, freezing point is solid, anything that's above the boiling point is gas, and anything in between those 2 points is a liquid. And then you can easily find the answer to the questions, okay, of this type of questions. Okay, so if you do understand, go to my WhatsApp, go to my what do you call it, TitanPad, the one that tinyurl.com/askmrzaki, and say that you understand. Okay, if you don't, also ask more questions on their website. Okay, thank you.